This is why when you have pigs, you gotta have some kind of water that they can soak in, and then water that the rest of the animals can drink, because once they soak in it, it's gross. And you guys could take turns. Good morning, Mark Shepard, Healing Pastures Farm. This is the thing I do once a week. I try to gather the lessons that I'm learning, the insights that I'm gaining, and I try to put it all together with whatever songs are haunting me, and I try to create something that I call the Sunday message. Last week was a tough one. My little bottle lamb, Lammy, succumbed to these liver flukes. At least that's what we think. We're still waiting for tests to come back, but it's been very, very dry. So the snails have kind of disappeared. They've all gone wherever snails go when it's really dry. So I've also had the opportunity to talk to a bunch of different people, a couple of different vets. The vets both say, don't put your sheep in wet areas. So lesson number one, if you're a new sheep farmer, don't put your sheep in wet areas during wet times of the year where there might be snails. That's good advice. Not always easy to take, but the thing is, these are all new pastures to me. So learning which pastures are wet and also moving them to dry pastures or pastures that tend to be dry, that's a learning curve. There's just stuff that takes time to learn. So that's one lesson. The other lesson, I found this guy on YouTube who was talking about some natural dewormers, and he uses a half a teaspoon of lye to a gallon of feed, and he just puts the lye in a little water just to moisten the feed, and he uses that for his pigs, his sheep, his goats, everything. And it's something his grandmother used. And before the end of the video, which hopefully I can find and link below, he said, by the way, wood ash is kind of what lye is made out of, and you can use wood ash as well, hardwood ash, not softwood ash, but hardwood ash. And one of the things, whenever Lammy was here, I have a Weber grill in the back, and I use hardwood charcoal, and we burn wood in the winter, and I do put that around the trees and stuff. And she was always going for the ashes. I'm like, why is she eating ashes? So she was trying to self-regulate. She was trying to deal with the parasites just instinctively. So our goal is to do natural things and to not have the animals dependent on medications. That's a long-term goal. I'm gonna have to medicate because I can't take the death anymore. So I understand why farmers use these medicines, which are pretty darn effective when your entire livelihood depends on your animals not dying. Like, you're gonna do whatever it takes to keep them alive. And ultimately, we need to learn how to function in the environment and develop a breed of sheep that are highly parasite resistant, and a management practice that is highly not stupid, that is highly intelligent, that works with, like, where would these sheep be naturally? Why do sheep gravitate to drier and higher areas and places where there's rock so they can trim their own hooves? So that's the whole thing with sheep. If you have to spend a lot of money and time and effort to keep them from dying, it kind of defeats the purpose of having an animal that doesn't, you got to make a profit. Like, and the more time and effort and expense you have with the animal, the less likely it is that you're going to make a profit. So that's what we're learning. And in reflection, good things to learn. And this week I was very gentle with myself. I gave myself time in the studio to record, and I'm going to share with you Stand Tall, this week's version of it, and just some hopefully positive footage from the week. I wasn't keen on making a lot of video this week because I was just trying to recover from the week before. So, but that's the thing, is I want to share the truth of this journey. And I understand now, on a deep visceral level, why it's so much easier in the American food system for the consumer to not know anything about how the food is created, raised, built, developed, grown, whatever, because doing it yourself is not always easy. Doing it yourself is hard. But I come from a long line of farmers. I come from a long line of do-it-yourselfers and people who didn't depend on the government for everything. And I'm liberal, so I don't want to depend on the government, which makes me conservative, I guess. I'm a conservative liberal or a liberal conservative, but I think we need to conserve our land and our environment. And I think we need to liberally spread love and hope and positive ideas and better ways to do things. So that's my big thing. That's my big message today. 6 minutes and 43 seconds. Not too bad. So stick around for the song. And after the song, I'll hopefully have some clips. The big thing I was trying to do this week, and it's really at this point kind of moot. It's a moot point. The thing this week is I put the ducks over with the sheep, and it was very clear the dogs wanted to eat them. So I had to I have the ducks separate, and there are only 4 ducks, right? And they're on, a couple acres at a time. So plus it's been really dry, so the snails all kind of disappeared. But what's nice, and here's the lesson, my lesson for the week. It's a gentle one. It's a little one. With the ducks and the dogs and the girl sheep there and the pigs and the rams just a block or so away at a different solar place, when I come home at the end of the day, I'm off duty. I don't have to take care of anybody other than my dad and myself. So that was good. And it's learning about taking care of myself. And I have a guy named Scott who comes on Saturdays, and he's, look, he mowed the lawn. He mowed the lawn. It's so nice. So I was able to work in the studio. So I want to share with you Stand Tall from a place of joy, from a place of hope. And I hope you can capture a little of that, and hopefully this is useful in your life in some shape or form. And if not, well, I've done the best I could, and that's all I can do. So here's the song, and I'll talk to you right at the end, okay? So stick around. Thanks. Bye.
It's not yours. You had to face a few slammed doors, so you sit and hang your head wondering how to earn some bread. Was it something someone said? Was it a picture in your head? Was it a feeling in your gut? Was it an open door you imagined shut? You decide. did you decide to lose? Don't you know we always choose to retreat or to go forward, to move away from or to move towards? So pick yourself up off of the boards and dare to give yourself a little reward. You gave it your best shot, now it's time to dig down deep and pull out just a little bit more. Pull out just a little bit more, 'cause you decide, yeah, you decide to stand tall, force a grin, forget the loss and count the win. Hold fast, dig down deep, first you sow and then you reap. Look up, breathe it in, you got the gold of Solomon. Look left, look right, brighten up your inner light. What just changed? Not the world. The world's the same, you just rearranged your perception. You shifted your focus and in the process chose to let go of some old pattern of pain. That's right, take it, shrink it down, fade it out, push it far away and let it go. Rearrange it into something you can learn from. Rearrange it into something you can learn from. And now you know, and it just goes to show, it's lost its power over you, hasn't it? And every thought has become a friend. Every thought has become a friend. Like the cripple throwing away his crutch, or the shy kid reaching out his hand and looking you right in the eye with a warm open smile and inviting you to dance. It's the shy kid inviting you to dance. It's the shy kid inviting you to dance, 'cause you decide, you decide to stand tall, force a grin, forget the loss and count the win. Hold fast, dig down deep, first you sow and then you reap. Look up, breathe it in, you got the gold of Solomon. Look left, look right, brighten up your inner light. Stand tall, force a grin, forget the loss and count the win. Hold fast, dig down deep, first you sow and then you reap. Look up, breathe it in, you got the gold of Solomon. Look left, look right, brighten up your inner light.
All right, thanks for listening to the song, and just here's some clips from the week. And I tried to pick the positive ones and just to give you a glimpse of how different these solar locations are. A couple of the ones out in near Ogdensburg, New York are very dry. Haven't seen a snail all season, and the sheep that I'm renting are not dying. They all seem to be doing well. I did lose a few in the beginning, but that was the beginning. So hopefully I'm not wrong. And then the one across the street from where the rental sheep are, my friend Corey Vineyard has kind of mowed along the leading edges of the solar panels. And I'm thinking of putting the girl sheep there because it is dry, but there is still forage underneath the panels. So that's the big news this week. So yeah, here we go. All right, here's a conundrum. This is Ruler, which is across the street from Royal, which is where I have the rental sheep. And Ruler we are mowing, but look at it, it is so dry here. Like, this could be a snail-free zone, but is there anything edible? It looks like there's quite a bit of grass under the panels. So I'm thinking maybe we move the ewes and the lambs over here. Give them a drier spot. And then we just mow the rest of where the ewes are. I mean, there's so much good forage there, but there's so many snails. It's like there's lots of grasshoppers here. That's not a good sign. Grasshoppers indicate bare soil. So, but underneath these solar panels, there's quite a bit to eat. So I got to talk to Corey about that. That's my question. That looks pretty good. But I'm not a sheep. And I don't know if my sheep will actually eat the wild parsnip, but it's not too horrible in here. It's pretty bad on the perimeter, but yeah, just thinking. It's an absolutely beautiful day. I think my camera's smudged. Where are you going? Okay, you can get a drink. So it's an absolutely beautiful day. It is Tuesday, the 22nd of July. And I was able to take Lammy's body to a vet, and he's going to take samples of her liver and send it off to Cornell for analysis, and hopefully maybe we'll know by Friday, but there's no guarantees. And he was saying that he didn't think the medication that I found online for flukes is going to do us much good, because it only lasts for like 3 days in the body, and then unless you change their environment, you know. So I'm thinking now that I may have to move the sheep to one of the other solar places that is much drier. I don't know, I'm just tired of the whole thing, but trying to stay positive. I know it'll work out, but whatever. So it was really hard giving Lammy's body to the vet for him to, you know, chop up. Ugh, I almost lost it. I started crying. I'm such a wuss. That's a judgment. But she was my constant companion. And, you know, part of the problem with the dogs here is I don't get to spend much time with them, because they have to be here with the sheep. Yeah, the loony. What are you doing? What are you doing? So I was here 3 times today, so hopefully that's You know, it's good for them. They want to be touched. They want to just hang out with me. So I really appreciate them being here in these beautiful bodies, and everything is temporary. And oh man, I'm tired. I'm just tired. Tired of the whole thing. But I'm not tired of you, Luna. Look at you, beautiful girl. Who's my good girl? Who's my good girl? All right, for identification purposes, this is one of Splotchy's lambs. Got little freckles on her face and not many other markings. But they hang out together. I don't know if that's her ewe lamb, or I think it's her ewe lamb because the boy is much bigger. And she is in fine condition. No problem with two sucking on her. So the ducks have basically only been eating their mealworms, and they don't like me anymore. They're really, they want me to back away before they'll go anywhere near their mealworms. Need to give them fresh water. But I have a tank, so we're gonna do that. And it's hot today, but there's a breeze, so it's okay. I'll take it. But it's still a way better place to have my ducks, because, oh, here's the question: where have they been laying their eggs? Let's see if I can find them. Chip, 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 chip. Come on, guys. What are you doing? What is going on with you? What is going on with you? Why do you have boo-boos on your face? What's going on? Have you guys been fighting, or have you been being eaten by flies? Oh shit, look at your ear. What's going on with your ear? Did a pig bite you? Go. I'm having quiet time with my sheep. What the hell is going on? I don't know. I just can't seem to keep my animals from either hurting themselves or getting eaten by stuff. It sucks. But anyway, they still have plenty of forage in here. But look at the difference between this row, where they've been for about a week, and this row, where they have not been. And my concern here is it's been dry. I'm not seeing snails, so that's good, but kind of going that way, it does get wetter. But I'm looking in here, and they've been just topping these grasses, which I think that's good. And they've been working on the stuff under the solar panels. I mean, some of these are looking really clean. So for me, it's this versus that. You don't see any milkweed in here, do you? There may be a little bit. But the thing is, they're kind of lazy. They kind of stay at the other end. They don't always come down to this end as much, but we still have some milkweed here that they haven't nailed. But they have started to nail it. So, all right, it's time to move them. Not today, probably not tomorrow, but I give them a couple more days in here. And then we'll move them over here. And just if I see an area with a lot of snails, I'm not moving them into it. I'm not seeing snails here. This is definitely the drier part of this project. So, yeah. This is why when you have pigs, you gotta have some kind of water that they can soak in, and then water that the rest of the animals can drink, because once they soak in it, it's gross. And you guys could take turns. So thank you for watching. Thank you for your time and attention. Thank you for all the kind comments and emails that I got from last week. And this has been a journey. It's been a real journey. And the thing is, this is why we climb mountains. This is why people run marathons. Because if you're going to do something with your life, it's helpful. It's transformative if you do something that's big, or at least big for you. And to go into it with the understanding that I'm going to learn a lot, and it's going to be hard lessons, hard won, hard fought battles to understand and to proceed, to move forward, and to stand tall. Sometimes you have to force a grin, but other times it's right there. It's so easy. It's so easy to just look around at the world and see how bad it is, or you can look around at the world and see how good it is and how much better it could be if only we work together to support each other, to learn from each other, and to do the best we can with what we have. So that's the lesson. Thinking about you, sending out love, support, encouragement out there to you on your journey. This is just my journey. And we all have journeys, and there's always challenges, and there's always things to learn, and hopefully a lot of joy along the way. Peace, love, grooviness. Amen.